Hi and welcome to my 50th Trig Walk. Today we're going to be going to the St Peter's Church, I think it is at Tilton on the Hill, walking around to Life Hill Trig Point, heading to Lowesby Hall, Lowesby Medieval Village, called Newton Medieval Village, round to I think it's Summerfield Farm, where I think they've got a disused train line there that we can have a look at, then back to Tilton and a cheeky pint at the end of it at the Rose and Crown pub, which is always something to look forward to. So let's head to the church. Now I've done a bit more research, be able to find out about Sir Everard Digby. He was part of the Gunpowder Plot in, I think, 1609. So have a look at his monument in here. Well, I don't know if it's a monument or his grave. And, well, just have a little look round. Don't know if it's actually going to be open yet because it's about 8:30 in the morning. But if not, we'll come back and then go for a pint at the Rose and Crown in Tilton on the Hill. It's that time of year, you've got the old snowdrops out. It makes the graveyard look really nice having all the snowdrops around here. In a couple more months' time, it'll be the bluebells. That's a bit of a rickety old window. I'm amazed the glass hasn't broke on there. That's St Peter's Church. It's got some interesting gargoyles on there. In fact, the more you look, they're all individually carved. You can spend ages just looking at all of these. I don't know what these represent. But to think these are carved probably 300 years ago. We're just going to have a quick look inside now, see whether the church is open and have a little look at Sir Everard Digby's tomb. The Church of St Peter's has been a landmark for travellers for over 900 years. It is a medieval church with evidence that part of the church dates back to the 12th century. The church is listed Grade 1 and contains many significant features including gargoyles and corbels. The clerestory window with the 17th century glass floods the church with light. The Digby family tombs are of particular interest. The churchyard contains several good stones and slate headstones dating from the end of the 17th century. The shaft of the preach cross is listed as Grade 2. This village has Norman origins, later medieval additions, and sits high and exposed on this ridge, which is why the view from the churchyards are absolutely stunning on a clear day. Inside, you'll find carved stoneworks of memorials that tell you the story of local families over the centuries, and one name stands out: Sir Everard Digby. Digby was Lord of the Manor here in the early 16th century and became involved in the Gunpowder Plot alongside Robert Casterby and Guy Fawkes. While Fawkes was the man in the cellar, Digby's role was to lead and plan the uprising in the Midlands once Parliament was destroyed. The plot failed. Digby was captured, taken to London and executed in 1606. So it makes you wonder why if he was executed, he has such an outstanding memorial here. Standing here in the quiet hilltop churchyard, it's strange to think that one of the conspirators in one of England's most dramatic plots once walked these same paths. So we're now leaving the church and we're heading down Main Street. And we go past the old granary, which after doing my research from last time, there is no site of an old granary down there, it's just called that. Then when you get to the bottom, you turn right onto Back Road and we'll be heading over towards the old Tilton Road and picking up the Life Hill Trig Point, which we should actually see the aerial very shortly because there's a big aerial around here. It's well signposted, obviously. We're following the signs for Bilston and Houghton, or Howerton, whichever way you pronounce it. We'll just keep on round here. When you get to the end of Back Road, you come to the B6047, which is a good motorbike road, and you turn left, and then just down there you turn right. So once you've gone down the 6047 for probably 100 foot, you turn right down Tilton Lane, and the trig point is just down here, hopefully. We're doing it this way around so you come across the trig point early, because we don't know what the weather's going to be like, and if it starts chucking it down, and obviously we've had a lot of rain so the fields might be flooded, some of the walk might not be possible. Okay, once you've been walking along Tilton Road for a little while, is it Tilton Road or Tilton Lane? We turn left down Green Lane, it's all closed off, but the trig point is just down here. Don't know how deep that is. Things you can never tell, that's probably a massive hole. And you head down here, and just over there is the trig point that's mentioned 30,000 times. One thing I found out the other day by listening to Claire Balding's ramblings is that this year is the 90th anniversary for the trig points. The first trig point was down at Black Downs in Sussex, I think it is, and that was back in 1939. But just coming here, and this actually doesn't look that possible. Hopefully we can get round it a bit further down here, but this doesn't look easy. I'm sure we're not allowed in there. So I think we go down here somewhere and walk round. So this is the Life Hill trig point, not far from the aerial. It's a little bit buried in here. I've seen them in better condition than this before, considering OS supposed to come around and check on these. I've not been around this one for absolutely decades. As you can see, it's fallen over. The benchmark is 4856. The views around here, well, not a lot to see. Considering it's supposed to be on a high point, you would have thought it would have been over there. And now to carry on with the walk. Oh, that's our 50th trig point. We're now heading back up to Tilton Road, and we're going to be turning left. Hopefully the fields won't be too bad, because if they are, we're going to head back, and literally in front of us is Sludge Hall Lane. And sorry, Sludge Hall Hill. We'll head down there instead. That's supposed to be quite a steep hill, really. In fact, it looks quite steep. So after you've been walking on the Tilton Lane for a little while, you'll come across a public footpath sign for Sludge Hall. We're going to try down through here. Hopefully it's not going to be mega muddy, but first, hang on a second, let me just get through here. But first opinions, or first, you know, I can't even think of the bloody word. The first impressions. Ooh, do you know what? Oh, Wayne won't struggle getting through it. Look at this. I think it's literally, I'll show you this, look. That's the gap to get through. Literally impossible. There you are. Then let's just follow the path down here, the signs. You can see another yellow way marker just up there. Having a bit of a struggle around here, apart from it also being on a very steep hill and being eyed up by the horses. It looks like the path takes us down there, but there's no way out. And we don't want to keep going up and down here because it's also very muddy, very slippy. So hopefully we can get out of it around here somewhere before we get shot by the farmer. Even on a misty day around here, it's very quiet. You can hear the birds and the tractors, but just imagine what the view would be like around here on a clear, fresh, frosty day. But I think we're back on course now. We've just got to head down this way, I think. We're slightly off course. We're headed up towards the, too far to the right. You've got to head to the left across that field to come to this yellow way marker. And then once you've gone over the fence, you've got another yellow way marker just over there. It's hard to see the yellow way markers around here with all the, hang on a second, I'm about to slip over, with all the hills and all that sort of stuff. But now we're going down a hill, that's nice and easy to find. Oh, well, we're now on Sludge Hall Hill, and we turn left and we're going to be heading up towards Cold Newton. Here's an interesting little fact. Before they actually had trig points, they usually used wooden structures and church spires. Not the best thing, so they decided to build 6,500 trig points to put them all around the UK. And by the time I finish doing all these, the ones in Leicestershire and Rutland, that will be 58. Not including Clack Hill, which isn't in the book, which is 59. So still got several thousand to do. But I don't know whether they actually mentioning 6,500 trig points or 6,500 benchmark, which both very similar. And we're going to see if we can get down here, but it looks like another one of those where it's a good old, actually I think that's quite passable. So this is part of the Tilton to Leicester branch line that will be crossing over again later. Don't think we can get down it here. I don't know if it's worthwhile trying to get down there. Looks like people do go down there. You can see some form of footprints down there. Well, that's handy. Wayne spotted a path that will take us straight down to the train line. So we don't have to climb down the embankment, we can just walk along here. We actually managed to get onto the train line and we're heading towards where Lowesby station used to be. Obviously we're not going to go that far, but it's just going to go up to where the train bridge is that we crossed over earlier. Won't be going much further because it's taking us in the completely wrong direction. Oh, well, on top of that, not that long ago, and luckily Wayne spotted a path that's just down there and takes us all the way down there, and we just doubled back on ourselves. It's hard to believe that this bridge has stood for around about 150 years and it's still standing with very little degradation. In fact, there's the bridge number. Look at the work on there. If they made that nowadays, it'd just be poured concrete and probably last about 50 years. And this is still being used. Obviously not the train line. So it's a slight detour that we did, so that's not too bad. Just up ahead is a yellow way marker, so it added about a quarter of a mile walk onto a 6 mile walk. So I think by the time we've done this walk, it'll be about 7 miles, 7.5 at the most. So when you come off this used train line, you turn right and you make your way through here somewhere. And it sounds like we're coming up to a waterfall, which would actually be an interesting thing to find, but this definitely isn't waterfall, it's just Lowesby Rapids or something like that, just down there. Oh God, making a lot of noise for a little stream. It's interesting what you find on some of these walks. Got an owl. I'll obviously speed this up a little bit. A hare. So it's just carved at the top here. And a fox. Actually, it looks more like a cat, but I'm going to say it's a fox. Very nice. Then going back on route now, heading towards Lowesby, which is just up here. I'm going to say just up here. I think it's about another half a mile or so. Oh, I came across a little baby trig point, but that's a nice little find. That pump, wonder if it still works. You get some nice cottages tucked in the middle of nowhere, but once you walk through Cold Newton, you see this, I'd like to say yellow way marker, but it isn't. And somehow we're going to walk through here, which is going to be fun. Oh God, it's always worth remembering when we're walking through these villages, we're walking through decades, centuries of history. And I'm now walking ankle deep in mud. Like when you look round here, these could have been like the main road and houses could have probably been up here. Very much like Inglesby medieval village. And that could have been the manor house there or some form of authority. Could have had a well round there, just down there. But it's got a very similar layout to Inglesby medieval village. That's got to be more the medieval village round there. And just think, years ago.
Hello. I haven't got anything for you, sorry mate.
Oh, we've got to try and get down here. As you can see, you've got the yellow way marker.
Right down here.
One problem about this time of year is you have to watch out you don't slip over on your arse. But we'll be going over this bridge. Well, this is a nice little stream. Then head over here and I think we'll be walking across along the stream for, I don't know, like I said, I've never been on any of these walks. Most of these walks are the first time for me. That's why sometimes, well actually most of the time I don't know what I'm talking about. Need some firewood? Come along here, you chainsaw. This is blocking the path up. So got to try and work our way through here now. Got to get off the path. Luckily it's not flooded. And through this gate, and I think we go up over there. And there's a bit more rain, this will be all flooded around here.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice little babbling brook. But cross over this little bridge. I bet this bridge is medieval. And just follow the yellow way markers. We're crossing over this bridge, crossing over this stream quite a few times. It's nice to see the farmers actually put some protective covering over the barbed wire. And we're just taking a slight diversion on Hungerton Road, heading up to somewhere that Wayne says will be of interest. Don't know how far up we're going.
Where them woods are there on the crest of the hill.
Also, we're going for about 3/4 of a mile, then we've got to come back. So it's going to be about a 8-mile walk by the time we finish, which we're not going to complain about. Oh, we're heading through here now, not far from Inkerman's Lodge. So don't know what actually there is to see, but we go through these gates. Bit muddy as usual. Hidden deep in the woodlands near Lowesby sits a forgotten Victorian railway carriage. Likely dating back to the 18th century, it would once have travelled the Great Northern Railway line, which opened here in 1882, linking quiet Leicestershire villages to the wider countryside. But by 1953, passenger service had ended, and by the early 1960s, the line had gone completely. Somehow this carriage was dragged from the tracks and left behind. No wheels, no railway, just a slowly decaying relic of Britain's railway age, rusting quietly beneath the trees. Oh, well, that's Lowesby Hall just up there. Didn't think we'd actually get that close to it, but I think we're going to follow just to the left-hand side of that wall. Oh, that's lucky. Almost walked past Lowesby medieval village, just over there. Can't really see much, but I thought we're going to be here somewhere, and literally are walking through it. But we're going to just head straight up there now, and should come across the church very soon. So you might think you go through this gate, but you don't. It's got warning guard dogs to keep out. You go over this stile just here. Tucked away in the rolling Leicestershire countryside, just east of Leicester, stands Lowesby Hall, an elegant Georgian mansion with roots stretching back nearly 1,000 years. The manor itself is mentioned in the Domesday Book of 1086, but the striking red brick hall we see today was built in the early 17th century, with its classic symmetrical and Switzerland slate roof. It is a fine example of understated Georgian grandeur. In 1910, the renowned architect Sir Edwin Luton was brought in to remodel parts of the house and garden, adding its signature touches to its already impressive estate. The hall sits within sweeping parkland close to All Saints Church. Still privately owned and rarely open to the public, Lowesby Hall remains one of Leicestershire's hidden historical gems. So we're now coming up to All Saints Church at Lowesby, just literally next door to Lowesby Hall. We're going to do all the usual, look for the benchmark, apophytic markings, and see if we can get inside. What a quaint old school. That's the old school. Tucked away in the quiet Leicestershire countryside, the Church of All Saints at Lowesby has stood here since the early 13th century. This grey 2-star listed building has watched over the village for more than 700 years, surviving medieval times, Victorian restoration, and the slow fading of old settlements around it. We're going to have a look at the sturdy west tower and the beautiful perpendicular windows, and inside we should hopefully find some ancient features like stone pincers and a sedilia, gentle reminders of its medieval past. Peaceful, understated, and full of history. I also wonder if we'll actually find a benchmark. Looks like it's got some nice stained glass. Well, that's a shame, it's locked, but it's actually got a telephone number on the door. So if you phoned up 0116 259 7242 to make an arrangement for an interview, make an arrangement to see it, they'll come out and open it up for you, but we haven't got that time. Well, unfortunately, we didn't find a benchmark on this church. There's plenty of bushes around near the area that the benchmark could be, but we didn't find it. So we've just stopped in a little drink and a bite to eat. Now we're heading on. I think we've got roughly about 2 miles left to go. Lowesby Village is definitely one of those places forgotten by time, with my country lanes and cottages. Such a quaint little village with Lowesby Hall just over there and All Saints Church. Tucked away at the old site of the Lowesby station are the remains of its signal box, a quiet reminder of the Great Northern Railway line. The train stopped running here, like I said earlier, back in the 1950s, but this crumbling structure still stands, marking where signals once controlled by lines through the rural Leicestershire. Well, this is interesting. The old train station at Lowesby, well, the old Lowesby train station. Here's an old-fashioned weighbridge. Used to have horse-drawn carriages going on there to weigh them. But now we're heading up this way. Nice collection of snowdrops and crab apples. And we go over this stile. I think we're about to get attacked by the sheep, but there's a tractor behind us of the farmer she's been talking to, but I think these sheep think we're about to feed them. Wonder if there's any significance with that little stone circle. Probably not. But looks like an old barn there. So it's very hilly around here, surprisingly, around Tilton on the hill area. So that's Springfield Farm. One thing about these walks, it's amazing the landscape. All we've got is a tractor behind us of the same farmer, came all the way out here to feed his sheep, and typically we scare the sheep off. So we walk into the top of the field, so hopefully the sheep will go back to the farmer. In fact, they're all looking at us. Obviously, my map reading, like I've mentioned many times, isn't brilliant, but we don't actually go up there. And it says on the map that's Mill House, as in from The Simpsons, Mill House. So I don't know if there used to be a mill up there, but it would have been an ideal place for a windmill. But as you can see over there, the clouds, we've been very lucky with the weather. And I think if you look way over there, it might be wrong where the smoke is, it might be walkers. Well, coming back up to Tilton on the hill, it's definitely hilly around here. We've gone through several gates, through fields full of sheep. I think we're now going through here, I hope. But we're not far now, no more than a mile. Oh, that's a nice little walk. We didn't actually, well, basically the pub wasn't open, so we managed to see the church. We didn't get into the church at Lowesby Hall, which is a bit of a shame, but we got Life Hill, Trig Point, and went to St Peter's Church again, which was very interesting. We saw all about Sir Everard Digby, but now, well, the walk is over. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Until then, goodbye.